Your country 1039 KGRT, Taylor Swift, and you belong with me. Oh, all right, Taylor. If you insist, I could arrange that.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Las Cruces.
That's right. It is time for our question of the day. And our question of the day, well, let's just say it involves money and lots of money. I don't know if you knew this, but money can lure you away from a lot of things right there, from your relationships, right? You know, sorry for the romantics out there. And a new survey said that 43% said that they would leave their romantic partner for just $1 million. I know $1 million doesn't go as long as it or as far as it used to, you know. But what else would people do for $1 million? Well, 41% said that they would give up adult happy fun times. Also, 59% said they would ditch technology and live off the grid. 15% said they would frame a friend for a crime they didn't commit. Oh, got to watch out for your friends. So like I said, money makes you do some weird things. And that's just for $1 million, right? What would you do for 33 million? Yeah. So they asked that question too. And they had some interesting answers. 40% said they would take 33 million, even if it meant ruining someone else's life financially. Only if I got to choose which person it was. Okay. Maybe 46% would risk their life in real life Squid Games. Nope. Not into that one. Or 81% would embarrass themselves on live TV. You know, I do that every day on the radio pretty much. But 13% said they would embarrass themselves on TV for just about $5,000. So now that's not too much of a big deal. But I ask you this question. What would you do for $33 million? Now, for $1 million, nah, you're not going to talk me into doing a whole bunch, yeah, because I don't really think it's worth it. Because you have to be honest, pay your taxes, right? But for $33 million, I would be tempted to do some very interesting things. Mainly, probably to the detriment of myself. But yeah, I would try to think about what exactly would I do for $33 million. Would I give up my phone? Would I give up the internet? Would I don't know, give up being with you guys? I don't think I could ever do that. But what about you? What would you do for $33 million? And I know $33 million is just an arbitrary number, but if it was offered, you know, how much would you do, or what would you do, I should say. Let me know your answers by giving me a call or a text, 575-523-KGRT. You can also leave your answers on our social media pages if you're live on our social media pages, YouTube and Facebook. So let me know your answers for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. Okay. You know, in my head, this question seemed really good last night about what would you do for $33 million? Because I think it's really interesting exactly how much people will do for some cash. You know, people would do a lot of crazy things for some cash. But what would you do? I mean, the idea of taking $33 million, even if it meant ruining someone else's life financially, I mean, maybe, but like I said, only if I get to choose which person it is. Mom said she would take care of family for $33 million. Nah. Now, well, the thing is that you have to do something in exchange. Oh. I had somebody just send me a pic from yesterday's. They're one of their most embarrassing pics. That was pretty good. Those are pretty good. Yeah, for sure. But let's see. Somebody would say they would do quite a few things, but you never know until you're in that situation. Good call, sir. Good call. Because you don't know what you would do until you're in that situation. Someone would say, you know, go fear factor on you and say, eat this disgusting thing or climb up onto this pole or something else like that. And you would go like, I don't know about that. 33 million bucks. Well, okay, let's see. Where's the safety gear? Or hand me that earthworm that's still wiggling. No, ugh, I don't think I could do that. I'm a very picky eater. I really am. But the people will do some crazy things for some cash, and sometimes they'll do crazy things for not a lot of cash. When you think about Fear Factor, remember that show? That wasn't even all that much money, and people were doing crazy things for stuff back then. So I don't know. Let me know your answers, of course. Call them in, text them in, and leave your comments down below. In the meantime, let's see what's going on in and around the world for today. Let's see. Superman movie has led to a 500% surge in interest in dog adoption, which I think is awesome because there's a lot of dogs that can use some really good homes. Note I said good homes. So and watch out for the type of dog. Pay attention to how their personality is. Let's see. 54-pound piece of Mars was auctioned off in New York for $5 million. As a young dinosaur skeleton fetched more than $30 million, the buyer plans to loan the dinosaur skeleton to an institution. But for a piece of Mars, how much would you pay? Hollywood Reporter says Simon Cowell is set to create a new global boy band as part of his Netflix docuseries called Simon Cowell, The Next Act. That'll be interesting. And Jennifer Lopez was recently proposed to by a fan in her concert in Bilbao, Spain. She declared that she's done with marriage, and the crowd went crazy because that meant they still had a chance. Let's see. Also, a whip wielded by Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was recently auctioned off for $525,000. The whip was used during the Holy Grail trials in the film. The buyer and the seller remain unidentified. And once again, if I had the cash, that would be the whip I would get. I mean, the one from the original movie would be pretty awesome, but the Holy Grail one, that is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And a new dumb phone is being launched in the UK by a company called Techless. The Sage phone costs $135 per month, but it doesn't have the internet. So no internet, no games or social media apps because it is designed for children and adults looking to reduce screen time. So basically, it's just a phone. That is a novel idea. Once again, we are looking for answers for our question of the day today, and that is simply, what would you do for $33 million? If somebody came up to you and said, hey, I will give you $33 million, but you have to do this, whatever it is. Well, would you do it? Yeah. Or what would you do for that cash? That would be a good question there. So go ahead and let me know your answers. Call them in, text them in, leave your comments down below for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.